Okay, so we've had enough time to sit and think about this John Cena heel turn at Elimination Chamber 2025 last night, and I want to just give my thoughts and feelings about this because this is something that the wrestling world has needed for a really long time, and I'm not just talking about, just the John Cena heel turn. So before we get started on that, I want to say for anybody here that's new, I'm Wyzanow on Over the Top with Ryza. And if you are new here, we are on a road to 1,000 subscribers, which I am expecting to meet very soon. We'll hopefully like to get that within a week. So if you don't mind, if you like entertaining content, that probably won't be this video. This is going to be just a laid back commentary of thought. But if you like entertainment content, thought-provoking content, as far as in the wrestling world, wrestler breakdowns, wrestling theories, wrestling predictions, and things like that, I am the channel for you. We post very frequently, and we're going to be trying to up it to 2 times a day. With that out of the way, let's talk about John Cena's heel turn. The reason why I say that this is something that the wrestling world has needed for decades at this point is because we've needed something to be excited about. Granted, this is happening on someone that's going to be leaving within the next year or so. And I say or so because I don't believe that once we hit that golden number of whatever 10 months is from now, that John Cena is going to retire. Me personally, I would like to see John Cena have one more WrestleMania after this WrestleMania, and I would love for it to be against Randy Orton, since they had their long-lasting feud when they both broke into the main roster, and they never had a WrestleMania. One of the longer-lasting feuds that they had in WWE, they never had a WrestleMania match, and that's something that I would like to see happen. That would be a proper send-off for John Cena as far as a WrestleMania opponent, or as far as a closing match opponent. That would be pretty good for him. But we've been missing this spark from wrestling for a long time. Granted, we got it with Rock returning last year and just going hammer time on Cody Rhodes. So we did get that. We had the Roman Reigns bloodline feud or saga, and we've had the Shield, we've had the Wyatts, right? But we haven't had something too often over the past couple of decades that's been able to transition into the mainstream. And part of that would be because of how they haven't structured their product in the vein of creating stars that can create moments like this. Let's think about it. When John Cena is gone, when The Rock is gone, who do they have that can create a moment like this that you can see? I mean, you could look as far as 10 years into the future. Do they have anyone on their roster that can, within the next 10 years, create this type of mainstream buzz that John Cena has just created, that The Rock created last year? They don't have it. And that's because they're not creating people that could be at this level. Granted, you have a Roman Reigns, but I don't think that Roman Reigns is at that level. Not that level where he can come in and it transcends the wrestling universe. That's the thing that's missing. But while this is a good thing for business, it shows the lack that they have in WWE. John Cena is he 50? If he's not 50, he's approaching 50. You got The Rock, who's in his mid 50s. What are we doing? Let's say we do have Roman, right? Who's iconic in the wrestling world, but not in the mainstream. But let's say we got Roman's in his 40s. Who else you got? Like, you have a CM Punk, right? Let's say we got CM Punk. His biggest moment is CM Punk returned. But is it mainstream? For everybody that grew up with a John Cena and they felt this moment as something that was just larger than life, something that's history making, you can't believe that you've seen it because all you've known of John Cena outside of his rapper gimmick in the very beginning was John Cena was the prototypical babyface, and no one can get to that level of babyfacedom. And I understand. I sympathize with you. I grew up watching Hulk Hogan. I didn't see what Hogan did in the Terry Bollea days. I didn't see that. I only saw what Hogan did in WWE and I saw some of the stuff that he did when he went over to Japan. The only bad guy Hulk Hogan that I've ever seen was Rocky 3, and he still took a picture with Rocky. So when Hogan turned heel and joined the NWO, or he was in the NWO, I should say, it shocked the world. It changed the entire landscape of wrestling. And you want to know why? None of it was telegraphed. If you watch back WCW back in those days, or even if you watch it from a hindsight day, meaning you watch it today, knowing the events that occurred, and you watch all of that stuff back, you still have no idea that Hogan was going to be turning. I mean, until Bobby Heenan started dropping some hints on commentary. Is he the guy? Heenan kind of messed it up on commentary here. But outside of that, you have no idea that Hogan was going to be turning. And it shocked not just the wrestling world, but mainstream world all across the board. And it changed wrestling to the day. I mean, until John Cena came along. It ushered in a new feeling, a new thought of how you view your baby faces. Can you trust them? How far can we go with a turn? How far can we go with creating heat? And it created so much business for just that one turn, created so much business for WCW that it almost wiped out WWE. That one heel turn completely almost wiped out WWE, because WWE had nothing to combat that. Now we look at a John Cena, and I will say, granted, I'm one that saw it coming, not because I was spoiled by the history of seeing Hogan turn heel. It wasn't because of that. It was because of everything that led up to John Cena turning heel, like the losing of all single matches over the past 7 years, right? So now you feel like you don't got it no more. Then you have the Royal Rumble post-match press conference where Cena talked not heelish, but definitely was more selfish, and he couldn't win that one either. John Cena was largely a loser in his past 7 years, as far as record-wise. He was a loser. John Cena was not winning. He's far cry from the Super Cena that you all grew to love. Far cry from LOL Cena wins. So what does he do? He gets the Zenkai boost. He gets the M put on his head. He's Majin Cena now. He joined up with The Rock. What did The Rock do? He granted him everything that he was going to grant to Cody. You want days off, Cena? Sure, take your time, take days off. You don't have to be here. Answer me this question. What was John Cena doing that was so important that he got to miss the first 2 months of his own retirement tour? Tell me, that right there, to me, was a dead giveaway. We were leaning heel with Cena. The selfishness, the not showing up for dates, he predicated his entire WWE run on I'm always here, I'm always working, I'm always grinding, I'm always trying to be better. And now he's going against everything that he stood for. Again, this is all before the turn. He's going against what he stood for. He's not showing up. He's putting himself in matches without having to qualify. He's putting himself above everybody else and above the business. And maybe he felt like he had to do this in order to finally become a winner. John Cena is going to win that title at WrestleMania. John Cena is going to have a run as champion as a heel, because there's a lot more work that John Cena can do as a heel champion than as a babyface champion, because then he can start to help elevate some of the baby faces. Now that I think about it, knowing WWE, they're just going to feed him some of the top meat and leave it at that. He's going to have a CM Punk. He's going to have a Randy Orton. He's going to have a Cody. I don't know. John Cena might take on all comers, but anybody he faces is going to turn babyface. If you throw, he's going to destroy Damian Priest, by God. If you throw a Drew McIntyre at him, that's going to turn Drew babyface. And then by the time that Cena's done as champion, you'll be done wiped out all of the baby faces. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But he's definitely walking out of WrestleMania as champion. But this is something that the John Cena fans that grew up with him deserve. They deserve to see Cena turn heel. It's something that he's wanted to do. It's something that he's been vocal about wanting to do. And to finally be able to do it on his last hurrah, it was either now or never. We get a small John Cena heel turn We get a small John Cena heel run. It's probably going to last about six or 8 months before he goes back babyface and have the proper send-off. Or maybe we can get a year out of this thing and he joins us for one more WrestleMania because, you know, he's a heel and whatnot. So that'll piss people off. I'm looking forward to this. I'm happy for it. It's something that we needed as wrestling fans, but we can't forget. We can't let this distract us from the fact that WWE is still failing to create superstars of this magnitude that can create moments of this magnitude. We're failing to put enough pressure on them to do this. This could be something that can change the wrestling business. I don't think it will because he isn't going to be around long enough to bear the fruits of this labor and to continue it on. Like when Hogan turned, Hogan was still around for another few years doing this heel run, another few years doing it. And he was able to get mileage out of babyface and heel for the rest of his career. I mean, now he's pure heel, but John Cena won't have that much time. So will this change the landscape of wrestling going forward? Nah, it's just another storyline. But people definitely need to wake up and stop kissing so much WWE ass because they've rested on their laurels, they've gotten lazy, and they don't feel like they need to build up future stars that can create something like this. I'm signing out. I hope you enjoyed. Give me your thoughts down in the comment section below. Again, if you're new, subscribe. We have goals in mind to reach, and turn on that notification bell. If you'd like to contribute to the channel, down in the description below, I have my PayPal, Cash App, and all that good stuff if you want to contribute to helping me get better Wi-Fi. All right, I'm out of here.